Hello, y'all. Welcome back, my little butterflies, to Queen TT Loves. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and then share this video. Today, we are going to do a rewind. So I am going to take off my makeup so I can get ready to work out. So let's get started. This is going to be a short and straight to the point video because it doesn't take long to use these wonderful makeup wipes. So it's going to be about 2 seconds. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so my topic for today is going to be a quick little discussion. So a discussion about relationships. So this is a blurred and this is my blurred truth. So this is what I think people should start doing. Because of the way things are changing, we kind of need to change up what we're doing because some of us are holding on to old fashioned values and we getting eaten up because we don't match what's going on. So everything is so whatever now. So what I think people should start doing, let me take out my nose ring. What I think people that are in the dating world, so I hope most teens are in the dating world, you're not married yet, should start doing is you should start deciding what you don't want, right? Total opposite of what people normally do. So we should decide, well, not we, because I'm a whole married, but well, no, I guess I gotta decide what I will and won't take. Everybody should. So you have to start deciding and thinking about the things that you do not want out of a relationship because everything is just, whatever, everything goes. This is the new norm. It's just very different now. So there almost is no standard where there kind of was before. There's no standard. So you need to decide the things that you don't want out of a relationship, and then that is how you approach dating. So you decide if you want to date someone who already has a kid. You decide if you want to date someone who didn't go to college. You decide if you want to date a certain class of a person. That is your choice because when you are dating, the idea behind marriage, if that is what you want, is to get married and stay married. This is supposed to be your forever person that you grow with and navigate life with, right? So you want it to be somebody that has the qualities and morals and values and the kind of the same thought process as you as far as a foundation. Now, some things can change. You could be somebody who says, I don't want kids, and then later down the line, your life is better than you expected, and you're comfortable, and you're like, oh, how can I not share this with the baby? How can I not expand my family? Those are things that can change, and then you talk about those down the line. What I am more so talking about is deciding if you want to be in a monogamous relationship, if you want to date a person who has experimented with certain things, if you want to date a person who may have a particular disease, come from a certain family. Like, all of those things are really important because your vows say for better or for worse. So if you are walking into things that you don't like, the likelihood of it working out well is slim to none, right? Because you're doing things already that you don't want to do, and because you've accepted it and moved forward with that relationship, you can't exactly expect that other person to change. I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got when I started being able to date just in high school. Pause. Let me tell you what I like about these wipes. So everybody, you guys know that I wear contacts. So a lot of times when you take off a mascara or whatever, it's going to get into your eyes and stuff like that. But these wipes softens it. So when those pieces get in my eye, number one, I could see them, but I can't feel them. And they don't scratch up my contacts. So I love that. And look how fast the white worked. And it is literally all gone. I am back to my regular face. So it's important to think about those things. Think about the culture and what is going on around you in your age group that has become the norm or something that is happening. And then you want to get your questions ready for the dating world surrounding those topics. Like one that I always ask when I dated is if somebody had kids, because in my community and where, I was raised, most people had kids in their teens or early adulthood, and I hadn't yet. So I wanted to know what their type of relationship was like with the mother. It helps you to paint a picture, because in dating, you're basically dating to have something long term with the person, right? You want to, unless you're just dating to have fun, that's okay too. But those are the type of things that you have to decide. That way you could tell the other person. Because if you are a girl, people typically assume that girls just want to be married. That's not true. They typically assume that they want to have a kid and would be okay with being an at-home mom. That is so untrue these days, especially. So those are conversations that you need to have. That way you could tell whoever you are dating the honest truth. Most important, it's important to be honest, but you can't be honest if you haven't thought about certain things. So thinking about certain things, that way you're building up knowledge about yourself and taking time to think about things before you have to think about them and it's too late. I like to do what I call I like to think ahead as opposed to having to step in and do damage control. I like thinking about as much as I can from the beginning, and then that way I kind of have already thought about things on my own without my heart attached to somebody, because that will change your ideas. After you fall in love with a person, you're more likely to accept things that you wouldn't have accepted before, and that can backfire into a relationship. At this point, I'm just liking how this is feeling on my skin. I'm not even gonna lie. It's so soft, and I know y'all like, but you scrubbing your face off. I know, huh? All done. But yeah, take the time, because you all are young adults now. You're moving into that space of dating and thinking about your future and what you want it to look like. And so that amount of time and effort should be placed into what type of family that you want, that you think, now, what type of relationships you want, what type of people you want to date. And those are the type of thoughts and those are the type of things that you should be, thinking about. That way you know how to date. You know, who to say. I got makeup on my nose. I gotta get it off. That way you know what type of person you want to date. You know what you're looking for. And that way if somebody comes along and they don't fall in line with those things, you can just say, you know what? Thank you for the offer, but, no thank you. And I'm just going to tell you, sometimes if it's something, silly, not nothing major, that's the person you end up marrying. You end up marrying somebody that's total opposite of what you thought you wanted. And see, that's the benefit and the beauty of life and growing and all of those things. But foundationally, like sexual preference, morals, values, religion, all of those things need to be considered now, because you guys are becoming adults. You guys wanted to be adults so bad. Well, this is the things that you have to do when you become an adult. I told you, you was safe in your parents' home when all you had to think about was which day you did dishes. Now you have to literally, you wanted free range over your life. Well, that comes with responsibility, critical thinking, all that kind of stuff. And you are fully responsible for your life, which is kind of beautiful because you could dream in color. So you can think of all the wonderful things that you want to accomplish in life, what you want to do, and for purposes of this video, who you want surrounding when those things come, right? So I'll give you an example. When I dated someone, I dated that person based on them. I didn't consider their family dynamic in that relationship because this person acts so different than the dynamic that they came from. So I thought. And on the surface, they were different. I should have paid attention to the family as well, but I was young. I was learning. So now I'm sharing with you what I learned. I should have paid attention to the family dynamic because although this person on the surface did everything opposite, there's still traits and behaviors that are in that person because of where they come from. And so if you can't deal with those traits, or those traits don't align with what you are trying to do, then that's probably not a good relationship for you. And even if you want to try it out for a while, something like that, I vote against it because, like I said, once your heart is invested in something, it becomes a lot harder to walk away from it. It's not the same at all. Your heart starts to make decisions for you. And because you are now in love with or love that person, or, oh, well, this, or, well, that, or, maybe if, nope. Because when you get married, you date that person for who they are, or you marry that person for who they are then. When you date somebody, you date them for who they are then. Unless it's somebody that's in college and going to be an engineer, you can't obviously have an engineer that day. You have to wait till they graduate. I'm talking about foundational things. Those things that make you uncomfortable to talk about are the things you should talk about, because those are the things that matter the most. Those are the things you have to live with forever. Those are the mistakes you're going to have to back out of. So if you can think about it and be proactive about what you want your life to look like, and even think about those things, write it down, talk it out with your mom, talk it out with, I would say, somebody more mature, because somebody that has traveled the road can tell you what that road looked like. Talk to the people that have made the mistakes. I have gotten so much information and so much wisdom from people that have made mistakes and have been very transparent and shared those things with me because they didn't want me to make the same mistakes. And so I think that's dope, because then it allowed me to see things differently, because you can't know what something is like until you go through it, unless somebody paints a picture for you. And if that person is somebody you can touch, not TV or something like that, it makes it real. So you're like, ooh, let me not do that. I don't want those kind of problems, So that is my advice on getting ready to date in a more serious fashion, meaning being an adult without the reins of your parents. Because they've set the rules for you to this point. Now you need to take control of your life and know what type of girl you want in your life, what type of boy you want in your life, and so be it. Even if your plan is to, nope, I'm just going to focus on school, I'm going to college, and then I'm going to finish, or I'm going to the military, and then I'm going to finish. Most people that go to the military, they end up marrying somebody in the military. If you go to college, you're around that person a lot, so you end up dating some of those people. So these are things you need to think about before it comes into play. That way, when it comes, you're very confident, you're very strong in what you want, what you don't want, and then you can, just move forward from there. It's a lot easier to make decisions and speak confidently when you've already thought about something in your head and kind of worked out what it would look like and things like that. So that kind of like, I'll leave you with this. Think about somebody that jumps on a stage to do a movie or a play. It may be something that they're very used to, but they're still going to practice before they go out. If you practice what you want something to look like, then it looks better when it happens. If you make a vision board about something, it brings it to life. It allows you to dream in color. So that is my talk for today while I break myself down and get ready for tomorrow. So thank you for sitting in with me, and I hope you got something from this, because it is really important. This particular topic is life-changing. This particular topic is one that I wish somebody would have had with me, because I dated a lot of people based on, oh, well, they'll change, or, oh, well, maybe once this happens, or, oh, maybe if I could show them I'm good enough. oh, well, maybe, you know, if I do this, then they'll do that so that they'll act like this. Or maybe if I lead first, then they'll follow. I'm telling you, it happens. So Titi is telling you from experience. And on my next video, where I tell you how my sign plays into different things that I did, as well as growing up in a single parent home, then I will be able to get more into detail. So my next video, when I am glamming up, then I will share more detail with you. But for now, start to think about that. And that way, when you hear some of my stories, you could say, probably because we date in high school, our parents don't know. But we date, we be in love, breakups, whole soap operas in high school. They don't even know. But Titi knows. And I'm going to keep it 100, okay? I already know. So that is it for today, my butterflies. So goodbye, butterfly, goodbye. Goodbye, butterfly, goodbye. Goodbye.